Welcome to the B and T Sports Talk Show. This is T. I'm with my boy B, and we are back this weekend. Well, first, thank you for joining us this Sunday evening. Hopefully, you watched some great, I don't know what, preseason football, week 3. Probably not the funnest situation, but whatever. Thanks for joining us anyway. We appreciate you. Looking forward to talking about the NFL as we get into the NFL season and all the predictions we got. We are ready, locked and loaded to talk about who we think is going to win the divisions. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? We're going to do all that now. That way, you can't say that we are, that there were bandwagon predictions along the way as the season transpires. We're going to go ahead and put our foot.
Better not.
We're going to put our foot in our mouth right up front. That way, there's no question about about who we picked. So,
Right.
if this is your first time listening to us, we appreciate you subscribing. Go ahead and hit the like button for the video. Check out our old videos. Hit that notification buttons. Do all of that stuff. We appreciate it very much. So B will jump straight in a bit. But before we hop in, B, I know you want to make a shout out.
Yeah, man. My godfather Doug Hughes was rushed to the emergency room, man. So I just want to say that our family is thinking about you here. He is one of our loyal subscribers here. Headed home today. So thoughts and prayers with you, the family. Speedy recovery, man.
Absolutely, Doug, man. Hopefully you're feeling a lot better. And thanks for continuing support, and hopefully you're all right, man. Shoot. All right. Without further ado, let's jump into it. And I believe we've got some. Well, we teased it last show, and I know we dropped the promo for it, but we're giving away some free stuff. So
Hell yeah, we are.
hopefully folks are aware of that. But if not, we're going to give a quick reminder. And really what we're trying to do is we want to show our appreciation for everybody who took the time out of their Sunday evening to watch us. And we want to give away something to those folks. So what we're doing is we're giving away a signed Philadelphia Eagles jersey. B, you got it? Where is it? There it is. There it is. Bam, bam,
Got it
bam.
right here, my man.
Bam,
DeAndre
bam.
Swift, right here.
So we're giving away a
Look at
signed
that.
DeAndre Swift Philadelphia Eagles jersey to a lucky subscriber. And all you have to do is reach out to your friends and family. Let them know about the great work that B&T Sports Talk Show does, and get them to subscribe, and then have them come on the show today and shout you out as the person who referred them. Whoever gets the most shout out, or the subscriber with the most shout outs, will get the jersey. So even if it's not too late, text somebody right now. Tell them, hey, I'm watching this show. Get on this show, subscribe, and shout me out. I don't care who it is. Could be your mama, your grandma. It don't matter. Give them a call. Let them know what's going on.
Yep.
And give yourself an opportunity to get something for absolutely free. Because let's face it, folks. In this day and age with inflation, nothing's free anymore, right? We're the only ones giving something away. So so go ahead, please take advantage.
Why not a free jersey? Let's
Absolutely,
do it.
absolutely. So we're gonna jump into our
start the preview show.
Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna do
with the
our
Raiders. Oh,
I
God.
mean, yeah. I mean, do we have to? No, I'm just joking. So
Yeah,
we're gonna start.
man,
We're gonna start with.
got to.
We're gonna start with the Patriots West, aka the Raiders, and talk about the season that they may or may not have. We'll start with the news. Josh Jacobs is coming back. Apparently, they held their ground. Although it looks like he's within some incentives, he would earn a couple more $1 million than he would have if he had just signed the franchise tag. So Josh Jacobs will be returning for 1 year. That's good news for the Raiders offense, of course. I'm sure he would have preferred to have a multi-year deal as a running back, but looks like he just had to take a couple extra $1 million, and that got him in the building. So this, again, a huge impact. He was pretty much holding down the offense last year, so it's monumental to have him back on the team. B, any thoughts on that, man?
I think it's good that the Raiders got the running back here. It sucks it went from running down to running back 2 in the span of a day here. But they need all the help they can get. So getting Josh Jacobs back, of course, real big for that run game there, because now it gives them a little more of an open play with the offense there. Because at first you could probably just zone in on pass coverage and not have to worry about Zamir White. But now that you got Josh Jacobs in the backfield, gives them a little more of a protection, to say the least, and being able to be a little more free with that offense there. So good on the Raiders. I mean, you don't know how he's going to play for a 1-year deal. I mean, Lamar played on a 1-year deal, and the minute he got semi-hurt, he shut it down for the rest of the year so he could earn that contract. So it's going to be interesting what they do with him.
That's a good point. And with the new quarterback coming in, like Jimmy G, he obviously doesn't want to come in with all of the pressure on his shoulders to make everything happen on the offense. So having a running back there that's going to help churn up yards and take some of the pressure off him, I think is going to be huge for Jimmy G. We just got to hope that both these guys stay healthy, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody's out there thinking that the Raiders are going to win the AFC West. But the idea is that they could possibly compete for a wild card spot, to be perfectly honest. I mean, they're playing in a pretty tough division. You got the Chiefs, who just were coming off a Super Bowl win. You've got the Chargers, who are a very good team. We're expecting the Denver Broncos to be better than they were last year because they were absolute trash last year. And Russell Wilson looked he looked a little a little more pep in his step, in the preseason when he did get the opportunity to throw the ball around. So we'll see. However, let's talk about, we're talking about the offense. Let's talk about the defense a little bit. So Brian, you put this stat up about the fact that the Raiders are predicted to come in defensively as ranked as pretty much dead last.
The worst defense.
They definitely have some struggles. They do have Chandler Jones. They have Crosby. So they've got some guys up front that can make some noise. They picked up Marcus Peters, who I think at this point in his career, I don't know if he's not the same guy. So yeah, I'm after watching them against the Cowboys, and I just have to remember that that's just a preseason game. It's just second stringers out there. It was looking pretty bad. But I am a little curious. Playing against teams like the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Chiefs, pretty much almost, you're going to play each one of those teams 2 or 3 times. I mean, it's going to be tough. They are going to have to put up some type of, hopefully have the same type of pressure they had last year with Crosby to get to some of those great quarterbacks, to give them an opportunity to earn a wild card spot. Because if they don't, if their defense is not up to snuff, their offense is not enough to beat those teams.
Yeah. And you bring up the offense here. The one thing that Jimmy has always had is kind of like a safety valve. He doesn't have that safety valve. He had it with George Kittle, who's a pretty good safety valve for a lot of teams. But here, he's got to be a little more pristine with the ball here. The weapons are there on offense. I think the weapons are going to be good for them. But that defense is just – just think about it. You got to stop Mahomes twice.
Yeah.
You got to stop Justin Herbert twice. And a new and improved Denver Broncos team as well. Need to stop them twice. So you're asking them to win half those games, and then the rest of the schedule here is not the easiest to say. So they're going to have a lot of work to do here. Again, it's the preseason doesn't give us a whole lot to judge off of when it comes to the defense, because you're not going to see a whole lot. But it's that defense is going to really make or break the Raiders season here. I'm not too concerned about the offense. Like I said, with Josh Jacobs coming back, I think there'll be a little bit to be fearful of. It's just, how are you going to stop these other teams from scoring?
Absolutely. It'll be a bonfire, and that's what I'm hoping for. High scoring football games. Hopefully Jimmy G's got his arm warmed up so he could throw the ball further than 23 yards or 25 yards, because this is a completely different, well, maybe it won't be a completely different style of offense. I know we've got the former Patriots offensive coordinator, McDaniels running the ball club. So I suspect it's going to be a lot of drop back and, quick throws out to guys who hopefully are open. I don't see him standing back there in the pocket for very long trying to do a whole lot. Otherwise, he's probably going to get sacked. That's not his game anyway.
So I'm going to ask you, since you're the Raider fan, where do they finish in that loaded AFC West?
Well, man, it's, I see the Chiefs winning this division again.
Of
the
course.
the Chargers is the team that's closest to challenging the Chiefs. So I put the Chargers second. And it's kind of a toss up between Denver and the Raiders. I think the Raiders could come in and snatch that third spot, and take the third spot in the AFC West with Denver coming in last. So that's my hope.
So we're saying,
My hope is that I would love to sit here and say that they will be the second best team behind the Chiefs, but the Chargers are still a pretty darn good team, and so they're not going to be as easy. And they're not the Raiders aren't the same team. They're not the same team that they
no,
were the last time that they were in the playoffs. So it's just one of those things where this is a newer team that's still learning each other. You got a new coach that just got on last year. You've got some great pieces, but not everybody is familiar with the offense. And it's just going to take some time for guys like Devontae Adams to get adjusted to Garoppolo. And Jacoby Myers is another guy they brought in for the slot. How much time is Winfro going to get? You don't have that tight end, that stretch tight end threat anymore. So it's going to be a little bit more 5-yard dump off type situations, or just block pretty much. So I'm just curious to see how all that culminates into this season. But with all those changes, I don't see this. There's not enough continuity for them to come in and take that second spot. I just don't see it. So I'm putting them at third.
putting them at third. I am putting them at four. Just because there's just no predictions of what's going to take place here. And honestly, Denver's a little revamped. You can't put it past Sean Payton and Russell
True.
Wilson. There's something brewing in Denver here. Just the Raiders have so many questions on the defense end. They remain unanswered here. It's very top-loaded in the AFC West. So, and we'll talk about the AFC West later. But as of right now, I don't see the Raiders finishing no more than fourth. I think they may finish 500, maybe a couple games less than that. But I say they're going to finish fourth in that division. It's just too tough for them in there.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy, and as I stated earlier, they're gonna spend more time trying to figure each other out and figure out the playbook probably. So it might look a little raw in the beginning. So we'll see. Well, let's
We got a couple comments here.
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
JJ Jimmy G is about to be the only person to top Devontae Adams.
Well, tell Devontae not to run further than 15 yards, and we'll be all right. That's gonna be the only problem.
And then you missed Janik. Who's your guys' kicker?
Carlson. Yeah, he's actually a very good kicker. Very good. So
You were gonna say he was a very good kiss.
kicker,
I
obviously.
don't know where that was.
Carlson, very good kicker. Yeah, no, he's
Janikowski.
I don't miss Janikowski.
Have you ever seen the movie? Have you ever seen the movie The Replacements?
Who was
And there's that British dude who's the kicker. And he's smoking and constantly drinking.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
That's like Janikowski's like the fat version of that there.
Yep. Good old
like
Janikowski. Yep. It wasn't until he started doing weird stuff to people's drinks that's when he got in trouble there.
Did he do that?
Yeah, I remember he was accused of yeah, he was accused of that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, well, the Raiders, we would draft kickers in the first round like we don't know what we're doing. That was dumb to begin with.
We about to talk about a team who drafted a kicker in the third round. He's not even healthy anymore.
Yeah, terrible. It's just not. It's not a good look, man. We don't need kickers in the first maybe. What do you say? 3-4 rounds? I mean, come on now.
Kickers should be treated like fantasy football drafts. You don't draft them until the very end.
Exactly. They should have a special round called kicker, and then everybody can pick one up, I guess. The kicker round. Who wants a kicker? Osman, just a reminder again, folks, we are giving away a signed jersey. So we want to remind you to reach out to your family, your friends, coworkers, whoever. Text them right now and tell them to hop on BNT, subscribe, and shout you out in the channel. And remember, the person with the most shout outs will get the signed jersey. So don't forget. Don't forget.
Nope.
So B, let's transition into another team, which would be the San Francisco 49ers, who should be feeling pretty good about themselves. They traded Trey Lance. I don't know if that doesn't contribute to them feeling any better. They just traded Trey Lance. Got a fourth round draft pick. They traded him over to the Cowboys. I mean, we talked about this on the show that his time was his days were numbered, and the fact that he probably wouldn't even be the second string quarterback made this trade a lot more sense. It makes a lot of sense for the Niners to do this. They got something out of the deal. Trey Lance gets an opportunity to play, maybe, because the backup for the Cowboys look pretty darn good against the Raiders the other night. So we'll see. But kudos to him. I hope he figures it out and gets an opportunity to play. So B, what's your take? I'm gonna start with you on this. So what's your take on the Niners going into this season? What are you anticipating for their regular season?
Well, we knew that they had to make a choice between a veteran quarterback and a rookie quarterback to back up Brock Purdy here. It was obvious that they were going to go the Sam Darnold route. And watching Sam Darnold in that third game, there were throws that he made that just Trey Lance cannot make at this time right now. Yeah. So it's a smart decision. It's the same thing last year when they had Trey Lance quarterbacking and Jimmy G backing him up. There was an experienced guy behind him to get just in case. And you saw how the offense continued to move with him there. I think you're going to get the same with Sam Darnold here. So, unfortunately, this blew up in the Niners space. It was going to at a lot of people talking about that ran up the middle. That's Kyle Shanahan. That's not Kyle Shanahan. The play's designed to go up the middle, but there's also a way to get away from the middle if you see that it's clogged up there, and that just comes with inexperience on Trey Lance's end. So it's an unfortunate injury. Nobody likes to see it happen, but it's just his time in San Francisco was just coming to a dead end here. So it's good that he's out. He may get the shot in Dallas. That questions me what Dallas is thinking about Dak Prescott coming up here to say. I wonder what they're going to think now that they brought in Trey Lance in for him.
Yeah, well, the Cowboys have been pretty inconsistent, as we all know. They've been inconsistent since the '90s. So I mean, they've always been up and down, and Dak Prescott has had moments where he's shown snippets of greatness, and then he's had other times where he completely has disappeared. So I'm just curious to see what happens. Based on the last couple of years, the backup for the Cowboys will get an opportunity to play. That's for sure.
Yep.
so what's this I hear about Nick Bosa holding out?
The boy has not signed yet, man. He's in New York right now, but he's been in New York visiting his agent for the longest time. He still hasn't signed with. He hasn't signed a contract yet. He's been holding out. This is longer than Deebo Samuel's holdout. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
It took a minute to sign, but if you guys are Niner fans, you should be a little concerned that Nick Bosa hasn't signed, and he's still stuck in New York. And the only reason why I say that is Robert Saleh, the Jets coach, is in New York, and Nick Bosa really enjoyed playing for Saleh.
Yeah.
And that's a good defense that the Niners fans should be a little worried that he hasn't signed yet, and he's still stuck in New York. With no update on that. Nick Bosa hasn't come out and said, "I want to be a Niner," or anything like that. He's just saying he's holding out till he gets a contract deal. So I be a little fearful because that defense I still think is the best defense in the NFL at this time. But it's going to take a big hit if you end up losing Nick Bosa.
Yeah, I mean, the Niners definitely got to go grab the checkbook real quick and make it happen. I think that's what's going to end up happening. Mm-hmm. This is one of those situations where it sounded nice. It was cute. Like, we're going to stand our ground, yada, yada, yada. But we're getting too close to the regular season now. You need the guy on the field. You have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl or at least compete to play in a Super Bowl. You're one of the better teams in the NFL. There's no reason that a dollar amount should keep you from making that effort. So they need to go ahead and sign that check.
Just make that happen.
Do what you got to do. Yeah, and that's what I think is going to ultimately end up happening. He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid a lot, and we're gonna forget about this conversation ever happened. So I mean,
So I mean, go ahead, T.
no, I was gonna say, I mean, they're bringing back the same offense. I don't think a lot is really changing here. I mean, you still got Debo Samuel, you got Kittle, Purdy stepping in to play an entire season. He played the last half of the last season. I believe, what was it, the last six or so games. Played a playoff game, couple playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
Got hurt in the last playoff game against the Eagles. If you're a 49er fan, you should be feeling really good. This is a team. You got your fully healthy quarterback. You got McCaffrey playing running back and not quarterback like he did in the playoff game. And, you have lots of weapons on the team that can help run the offense has been successful for them for the past 5 years. So I don't see why they, and their defense is coming back as one of the best defenses in the entire league. So at this point, go ahead and get Nick Bosa signed and make and push the button and start competing for that championship. That's really what it is.
Yeah, this is a Super Bowl or bust season for the Niners. I think the injury to Brock Purdy last year really derailed that opportunity. Um, and not having any sort of backup, to say the least.
Yeah.
But they've got their backup now, and so Brock Purdy is healthy. You got to think a Super Bowl or bust for this. I mean, look, record-wise, it is what it is. You want to finish on top of the division. I think they will finish on top of the division in the NFC West, but that's not what you're shooting for here. Just go win your division. I don't think it's a strong division in the NFC, so there should be no problem with the Niners taking it. It's getting past that hump and getting over that third Super Bowl and finally coming away with the sixth, as many people here in the Bay Area tend to talk about. That hasn't happened yet. So this is if there's nothing short of a Super Bowl win this season, you got to consider it a failure. You can't look at it any other way when you're bringing back the best defense and one of the best offenses in the game. You have to be thinking a Super Bowl here.
Absolutely, absolutely, definitely, and so I guess you already said it, and I guess I'll chime in too on where the 49ers will finish in the NFC West. And to me, it's at the top. I mean, if you look at their division, there isn't a whole lot going on. You got Kyler Murray showing up in a sports brawl that's probably not going to encourage a lot of people to put their money behind the Arizona Cardinals. You got Geno Smith, who had a revelation. Geno Smith was a revelation last year, but
I would say so.
I don't think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be good enough. And the Los Angeles Rams, they sacrificed everything they had to get that one title, and now they're paying for it. So I don't think they're going to make too much noise this year either. So the Niners really could get to the bitter end of this season and have a nice chunky lead on the rest of their division. So hopefully they start fast and pretty much do what they've been doing. They've been doing the same thing for the past 5 years or so. So I expect them to hit the ground running, man, and just own that division.
Right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
Absolutely. All right. So let's transition. And so, again, we just want to remind folks about the contest for the DeAndre Swift signed Philadelphia Eagles jersey. Again, if you are a subscriber, reach out to friends, reach out to family. Let them know that B&T show is the best show that you've ever seen in your life. and ask them to subscribe. And once they subscribe,
please
come on the show. Please come on the show and shout you out. So they'll shout you out on the show. And the person that gets the most shout outs will get the jersey. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's not too late. Text somebody, call somebody, do something. Get folks on here, and that way they can shout you out, so you can win something. Just send them a text saying, "Hey, I want to win a jersey. I need your help." Okay, and that's all you got to do. All right, B. Well, this is all you, buddy. We're gonna talk about the Baltimore Ravens, who are in the pretty difficult division in the AFC North. They've got to contend against the Bengals mostly and Joe Burrow. But then also the Pittsburgh Steelers are known to make a little ruckus now and then and have a new quarterback that looks pretty good, at least for the preseason, I guess. I don't want to put too much on it. So, B, How's your team gonna do this year, man?
I think they'll do pretty damn good, to be honest with you. They bolstered that receiving court. That kid Flowers that they drafted, the wild card in
Yep.
OBJ. We don't know how much OBJ we're gonna get. If we get Super Bowl OB or the St. Louis Rams OBJ, that'd be great. If you get the Cleveland Browns OBJ, well, we're not sitting not too good there. But they surrounded Lamar with weapons here. You got J.K. Dobbins coming back, Melvin Gordon to support, and then top. I think he's in that category as one of the top tight ends, and Mark Andrews as well. So the offense is there. The defense, they lost a couple of guys, but the defense looks pretty good as well. Always a really good defense when it comes to Baltimore. It's what they're known for. I really see them finishing at top. I can't say second. I can't say third. I can't say fourth. They got to finish at the top of the division there, which I think they can with Lamar Jackson being fully healthy and ready to go. It's just all about if he wants to play a full season. I think that's just what it's going to come down to. Um, so I'm going to say it's going to be AFC North at the end of the season. Hopefully, well, they're going to be playing in a wild card bin. I don't think they're going to be the best team in the AFC, but I think they win the division and host at least a wild card and a division game.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, it's just the Bengals that are standing in front of you, man. You know, with Burrow and Jamar Chase and friends. I mean, that's really what it's going to take for the Ravens. They have to beat the Bengals. So I think that's priority number one. So we'll see how they do, man. I like Lamar Jackson. I like what he brings to the table. I'm glad the whole contract situation is finally figured out and he knows where he's playing. And
Yep.
hopefully we get the best version of Lamar Jackson from years past. You know, who's in the MVP conversation this coming season because honestly, since the whole kind of up and down and the injury, it's been all about the Bengals and Joe Burrow. So I'm curious if Lamar Jackson will have something to say about that this season.
Absolutely. So where do you see them finishing, T?
Yeah, I see you guys finishing behind the Bengals, man. I really think the Bengals will still be at the top there. I think, and this is I think that the Steelers could possibly be a sneaky good team this year. I think Pickett looked pretty good, and again, it's just preseason, but the guy looked pretty good out there. And the Steelers still have a pretty good defense that they put on the field every Sunday. So they're a team that might sneak up on some people. And the one thing about the Steelers, it's always like this with them, is they never win the division. Every time they went to the Super Bowl, they were a wild card team. So they're one of those teams that can kind of sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin has a great ability to galvanize guys and really point them in one direction. So if he gets it going, you look out. Excuse me.
He could definitely get them going there, but yeah, they may be a sleeper team to kind of watch out for. But yeah, I hope my Ravens can pull this one off real quickly here.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. So now we're gonna transition into talking around. We're gonna go through every single division. We are going to be picking our winners for every NFL division, and we will also pick who we think the best teams will be, who we think the worst teams are, and who we think will win the Super Bowl this year. That's right. We're doing it extra early, folks. So I don't know how. I can't wait to read this once the season is over. Um, there are some obvious ones that's like, yeah, probably, but there are some where it's kind of like, I don't know. So let's jump straight into it. But actually, before we do that, let's shout out. Let's talk about the promo just one more time, folks. Again, as a reminder, we're giving away a DeAndre Swift Philadelphia jersey. B, can you hold that up so everybody can see that
yeah,
for
I
us?
got you right here, man.
All
Right
right,
there,
so
y'all. Right here.
signed Philly jersey by DeAndre Swift. We will be giving that away to the winner of the contest again. If you forgot, all you have to do, reach out to somebody and let them know to hop on B&T Sports Talk Show, to subscribe, and then shout you out in the chat during the show. Person with the most shout outs during the show will receive the jersey. All right. So now getting into it, like I was telling you earlier, B, I wish we had the NFL, NFL countdown music behind us while we do the predictions and stuff, but we don't. So we're gonna
Nope.
do our best here. We're gonna start with the NFC West. I'll start
Do
off.
we have to start with them?
Yeah, I know, right? This is the easy one. We just talked about it. So I'll start off. We'll make this easy. I am going with the 49ers. Looking at the rest of that division, I am not seeing anybody that scares me. The 49ers are, in my opinion, the obvious favorite here. So that's going to be the Niners for me.
Yeah, I'm not. There's no need to really diverse into this one. The 49ers are winning this division, barring really a major setback. Right. Or this team forgets how to play football. They're winning this division. So that's not even a give me there. Who you have winning the AFC West?
AFC West, I'm going to pivot back to. I'm going to go back to the Chiefs. It's kind of hard to pick against them. I do like the Chargers, but I'm sorry. And Sean Payton taking over as a new coach with the Broncos is interesting. I will give it that, especially with Russell Wilson, who is a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. But I'm sorry, man. Mahomes is just too good, and if he's staying upright and healthy most of the season, he's going to dominate that division like he's done for the past few years.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to go with the San Diego Chargers here. What? I think all good runs must come to an end here. The Chiefs have been dominant for too long in that division. They've beaten everyone so many damn times. There's going to be a team that says enough is enough, and I believe it's going to be the San Diego Chargers here. You are going to see a breakout season from Justin Herbert. He's got I believe it's Mike Allen. Mike Allen is back for Keenan Allen, 100%.
Keenan Allen, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's 100% here, ready to go. Their offense was pretty good last year outside of Keenan Allen. So I'm going to take the Chargers to upset the Chiefs in a very talented and competitive AFC West here. I'm going with the Chargers.
Yep, not to mention they've got Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. So they've got some guys out there that can get it done. So I gotta say I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see how good the Chargers are, but in my book, they're the Clippers of the NFL. I mean, they play in the They play in the they play in the Rams stadium. They're sharing locker rooms with the Rams. It just smells like the Clippers to me. I'm sorry. I had to put that in there. I have to take a shot at the Clippers anytime I can. So, anyway.
Yeah, you
moving on to the NFC
Absolutely.
North, where the Green Bay Packers will be absolute garbage now that Aaron Rodgers has left. I'm going to go with the easy pick, which is the Minnesota Vikings. So, I'm going to stick with the Vikings. I'm not a huge Kirk Cousins fan, but after watching the next Netflix show, I do have a lot more respect for the guy. We'll give him that. And they still got Justin Jefferson. They're a team that was pretty explosive offensively, and they're they're a well-rounded team, and so I think they're going to win that. I don't, I like what Jared Goff did with the Lions last year, but I don't know if that's enough for them to dethrone the Vikings.
I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Woo! All right.
There was a lot of positive momentum. They did lose some key players. The guy we're giving a jersey away for, DeAndre Swift, we're losing him. They lost him. They lost Jamal Williams as well to the Saints. But there was a culture change inside of that locker room, and as far as for the entire organization goes. So I want to limit and say the Lions, but do not sleep. And I know you just made fun of them, but do not sleep on the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love is a pretty good quarterback here, and he showed a lot of potential. And he studied under Aaron Rodgers for the first 3-4 seasons. So we all saw how that played out with Aaron Rodgers before he took over. I think there's something to be said about the Packers. It's not something that I want to be proud of, but just be on the lookout for the Packers there.
All right. He picked the Lions, but talked about the Packers. We're going to move on to the AFC North. We're going to move on to the A.
And then, JJ.
Go ahead.
Before we go on, JJ is taking the Lions as well in that
All
division. So
right.
I think he's right there with me. I
All
like
right.
it.
All right. Well, let's move on to the AFC North. And I'll start with my pick. These picks are going to be obvious. We just talked about this. I am picking the Bengals. If Joe Burrow is going to be healthy, this is going to be the team to beat. Him and Jamar Chase obviously have that connection. They played in some pretty big moments and pretty big games. They did start off the year a little bit slow last year, but picked it up as it went down the stretch. I'm looking for them to continue to grow since they are such a young team and have young leaders. So I'm going with the Bengals. How about you? I already know you're going to pick.
Well, yeah, I'm taking my team. There's no question about that. We don't know how long the extent of Joe Burrow's shirt or injury is, so we're not too positive on when he's going to come back. It is a calf strain or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
So we don't know what we're going to get from him and when that timetable for return is. I think they are. I think if he was healthy, I think it is the Bengals who are going to be the scariest team in there. But look, Lamar's healthy. We've all seen what he can do.
Right.
He's got the weapons now, and that was the big thing that we talked about here. So I'm going to take my team, obviously, to win that division there.
All right, moving on to the NFC East, one of the most competitive divisions there are in the NFL. I am going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles to take this division again. I think Jalen Hurts is not getting any older. He's still a young, spry quarterback. Their offense was stellar around Jalen Hurts, and I think that they're going to continue to do that into this season. The Giants, your boy Dave Jones got paid, but I don't think that makes him a better quarterback necessarily. Saquon Barkley's back over there, but I just really think that Philly will take this division. I think it's going to be competitive. I didn't mention the Cowboys because I don't know why I should. I mean, I feel like the Cowboys are going to go 4-1 and then in the season, 10-9 or something like that. That's kind of what they do. Not 10-9, folks. That math's not right. But in any case, you know what I'm trying to say. They're going to be just above 500. So I think Philly. I think Philly will get it. 10-8. I think Philly will take it.
Who you got? I'm going with the Washington.
What in the hell?
Yes, let me defend myself here before you start judging me and the rest of the people start judging me. Again, a cold place here. They finally got Dan Snyder out of there as an owner. I think that's been kind of holding them down. Ron Rivera there was a spark that was lit with the Washington Redskins. I wouldn't say it's to the extent of the Lions, but he had them there was a way to believe in that system. Sam Howell is an up-and-coming quarterback that they're going to have. The receiving core is good. I'm blanking on the guy's name. Scary Terry McLaurin. That's going to be a standout for you as well. And that defense is lightweight, a pretty damn good defense as well, led by Chase Young here. So I'm going to say the Commanders are going to win the NFC East. And if it does, make sure you bet on it, just because they're probably no one's picking.
Yeah, I think you got to bet on it. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
you better go put some money. I mean, seriously,
take that over there real quick.
I mean, you got to. All right, folks, let's move on to the AFC East, where it was pretty competitive, but the stakes have risen as Aaron Rodgers has joined the Jets. The Bills obviously have been winners in that division for the past couple of years, and then you also have the Miami Dolphins, who they have a really good team, but unfortunately they haven't been able to put it all together. A lot of that is centered around the fact that Tua has been injured. So I'm actually going to stick with the Bills, and forgive me for being safe, folks. It's just how I am. But I think they've been a team that's been pretty tough to beat. A lot of that has to do with the fact they play in Buffalo, and it's cold as I don't know what, and they're playing outside. So they're not the team that you want to see in December or in January. And they just have the talent. I think Josh Allen is still a great quarterback. He can make plays with his feet. He's the Luka Doncic of yeah, he can move around, he can shoot. Doesn't look like he's gonna be athletic, but he can make things happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the Bills, man.
I think is going to be wild because who I have winning it all is going to be wild, even more wild. I'm going with the Jets to win this division here. They went out and got the players they needed. They got the quarterback they wanted as well in Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can win a division. It's all about winning a playoff game. That seems to be his bugaboo, to say the least. There,
Yeah.
any Aaron Rodgers team that he's led has been one of the top teams in the NFL offensively. So I'm gonna say the Jets. Their defense is good, but man, they really reloaded that offense to make sure that they score in a pretty competitive AFC East here. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. Again, a newcomer. Things have to change in divisions to say the least here. I think it's the Jets who are going to be the ones that come out on top in this division here.
Wow, and you heard it there. So we've got Aaron Rodgers coming in and flipping the script and turning the Jets into a contender overnight. I don't know how much I believe in it, man. I've always looked at Aaron Rodgers, and the one thing that I always felt was missing with him was leadership. So I'm curious if he'll step that part of it up, or if he's just going to be a paid assassin. So I'm just kind of curious to see how that works out. All right, so we're going to move on to the NFC South, who I, they've got a couple teams that are okay.
Oh my
I mean,
God!
I gotta be honest with you. I'm looking at this thing trying to pull up some positive B, and it's not working. So we got the Saints, the Falcons, the Buccaneers, and the Panthers. Obviously, the Panthers are just getting things going. They've got a rookie quarterback in there they believe in. They're ready to start anew. The Falcons have been playing the quarterback shuffle for quite some time, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't too far behind them. So I think Derek Carr coming in and infusing some offense at the quarterback position to the Saints. I wanted to, I thought he looked really good on his first drive. Kamara looked good. However, is Kamara suspended?
He'll be playing for a minute.
So
yeah, he is suspended, my man.
So that might serve as a problem. The fact that he's suspended. So we'll see how that shakes out. But I'm still gonna stick with the Saints. I think they have as good a chance as any of these other teams in this division to win. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, B. Who you got in this garbage?
I'm going with the Falcons.
The Falcons.
This division is dog water, but I'm going with the Falcons here because they are committing to Desmond Ridder. Drake London is going to be flying around in this division. They also blanking on his name, but Bijan Mustard, Bijori
Robinson.
Bijan Robinson. Do not sleep on Bijan Robinson. He has a very good chance to lead the league in rushing here. I think the Falcons got what it takes to win this really bad NFC South here. Tampa Bay they got Baker Mayfield starting for them. He's going to throw Mike Evans into season-ending surgery. Carolina is an absolute rebuilding monster. So Bryce Young just doesn't look comfortable, to say the least. So you're going to throw him to the Wolves, and that's going to be it. And JJ brings up a good point. Kyle Pitts really didn't have that good of a year, but still a really good tight end, to say the least. So I think the Falcons are going to end up taking that division. I was thinking the Saints, and then I remembered there was a team called the Falcons in there. So I'm taking the Falcons.
All right, he's going to go with the bird. Let's move on over to the AFC South, another questionable division.
I wouldn't even say it's a question.
Yeah, well, yeah, a question in that it's up for grabs. Well, let's put it like that. So for folks, just a reminder, you got the Titans, you got the Texans, the Colts, and the Jaguars.
Who?
The Colts are they're trying to figure a lot out at both the running back mostly at the running back position, and they just dropped a rookie quarterback in there that they drafted this year, and so that's gonna be a project. The Houston Texans, they're the Texans. I mean, I'm gonna go with the team that surprised folks last year, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they came in, they had an opportunity to play in the playoffs. I think they got an opportunity. They can build on that. They got a young quarterback who got to sniff the playoffs, which is always good. It helps them build towards this season, and I think they have a good chance to win this division outright.
Absolutely. I'm going with the Jags. The Colts rebuilding. They're starting a rookie quarterback,
Yeah,
Anthony Richardson
and
from
yeah,
Florida. He just does not look that impressive. There's a lot of question marks coming around him. And even into the draft. Now, obviously, that change in a heartbeat here. The Texans, I think, if they start Davis Mills, who wasn't that bad of a quarterback, they've got a little bit of weapons. But it just defense is going to matter for a lot of these games here. And honestly, when you look at the Colts and the Texans, when it comes to defense, if you could name me one player on each defensive team, you may even just win the jersey right then and there. And then who else? Tennessee. Dude, Tennessee has just been an absolute failure of a team, to say the least. Ryan Tannehill obviously does not want to be there. He didn't want to coach up a quarterback here. Now he's probably losing his job to that quarterback.
yeah.
Derrick Henry needs to get out of Tennessee.
Trade him.
There's just I don't have a I don't have a lot of hope for the Titans.
What was
here.
DeAndre
So,
Hopkins?
Jags,
What was DeAndre Hopkins thinking? I guess he was just taking the check.
I think he may have just been taking the check.
Yeah.
Another bad move by him. So I'm going to go with the Jags in this division here. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think they will just be the front runner for that division. So I'll go with the Jags on that one.
All right. And so now we're going to bring it over to the best division, or we'll say the most competitive division. And so I'll let you go first on this one, B.
You gonna let me go first on this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm going to the AFC West on this one.
AFC West. All right.
It's just dude. Like I said, the Chiefs have been on top for too long. I think someone in that division is going to want to take them down. But I think this time around, with the offenses that are being created in the AFC West, I think this is going to be the best division in football here. I think it's going to be highly, highly competitive, to say the least. Here, you've got two of the top 5 quarterbacks in Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. You got 2 sleepers in Jimmy G and Russell Wilson as well, who are capable of winning this here. So I'm going to go with the AFC as far as winning this division.
Yeah, I disagree with you. It sounds good on paper, but once they start playing games, man, I feel like there's it ain't gonna go like that. But we'll see how it shakes out, man. My pick is going to be the NFC East. They were very competitive last year. I look forward to it being the same. You've got a lot of talent there with the Giants, with Saquon and Jones. The Cowboys will always put up a good show, even if they lose 5 games in a row at some point. There'll be some good games between these teams. Philadelphia is going to be on top, and B picked the Commanders actually to show up and show out. So I think this is going to be one of those. This will be one of those divisions where when they play each other, it's going to be nationally televised. Just about every time.
It's always nationally televised, man. Like,
yeah, I know, but
the AFC East.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, outside of the the Raiders playing the Chiefs, I don't know how many people are signing up to see the Chargers play the Broncos, man. It just there's just more. There's just a little bit more spiciness to it. I think it's going to be fun. I'll throw out there a close second for me was the AFC East. That was the other division I thought.
Yeah.
With the fact that you got Aaron Rodgers, if Tua stays healthy, and then then obviously you've got the Bills. I mean, those teams playing each other, that's going to be.
You just going to skip out on the Patriots like that,
dude? I don't want to talk about the Patriots, man. I don't like the Patriots. You know how much the NFL has talked about the Patriots over the past 10 years. Like, it's okay for them to disappear. It's okay. They don't have to be a part of the conversation. They really don't. They'll be competing for a wild card. I'll put it like that. Great. Awesome. Good for them. I really don't, forget the Patriots. Anyway, yeah. So that was a close second for me. But, man, I think we're going to have some fun football to watch overall. Honestly, this is going to be fun.
I think so. And we got our first shout out, different Cal. Welcome to the show. Shout out to JJ, who's on the man. So we got JJ on the board with the shout out. Drunk, you have not missed the Trey Lance Cowboys jersey. It is still being produced and thrown into the trash right after they make it here. But Drunk, if you want to win yourself a signed DeAndre Swift jersey, just bring somebody here, shout them out, have them shout you out for bringing them to our show. And this jersey could also be yours as well. And Mama Lay says it's a shout out to my boys.
Oh, she's cheating. No, I'm just joking.
She's cheating for sure, for sure. But for those who haven't seen, this is the signed jersey here. This is it right here. Your DeAndre Swift signed Eagles jersey. There it is. All you need is a shout out, and this jersey is yours here.
Yep. Call your mama, call your daddy, call whoever, your friends, coworkers, have them get on the show, and let's go ahead and have them subscribe, get on the chat, shout you out. Person with the most shout outs gets the jersey. So folks, don't forget, we're trying to give this thing away. Give yourself a chance.
We are really just trying to give this away.
Victoria chimes in with not even the Patriots like the Patriots. No. That's why as a Raider fan, I'm so pissed off the fact that we're like Patriots West right now. All these former Patriots all of a sudden showing up on the roster makes me sick to my stomach. Makes me sick. I mean, Tom Brady is the freaking minority owner. Like how I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. It's terrible. It's just awful.
We got Victoria getting a shout out from Mama Birdie. I mean, it's kind of cheating because she's already subscribed.
You're already subscribed, Mama Birdie. You gotta get a new one. Oh man.
Let's talk about the worst division in football. I think you and I can both agree. I'll let you go first. Who do you think is the worst division?
So I picked the AFC South, even though I think the Jags have a great chance to win. The Jags aren't exactly world beaters, and the rest of that division with Indianapolis, Houston, and Tennessee, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I always like to think of it when I look at these divisions. If I watched all these teams play each other, would I actually watch these games? And the answer is no, probably not. So yeah, this is the worst division.
Dude, it's a tie. But you know what? Both the NFC and AFC South are the two worst divisions in football. I'm just gonna say it. The South is the worst place to watch football right now.
Oh man, college football.
We're talking about the SEC. That's a different story. I think they're going to get more ratings than the NFC and AFC South combined here. But look, this is a bad division here. I wouldn't be shocked if a team finishes under 500 in this division and gets in as and hosts a wild card game as a division winner. So, unfortunately, it's going to have to be the both sides of the South are just terrible at football here.
Yeah, man. Not CTV, basically.
No, yeah, absolutely not.
Neither of these teams, unless you have the NFL ticket, you will not be watching these teams play on television. Maybe once.
Nope.
All right.
Let's talk about the best team.
Best team. Yeah, so I struggled with this one. I couldn't figure out exactly who I wanted to pick. There's a lot of really good teams out there, and I couldn't bring myself to pick the 49ers, so I'm going to pick the Chiefs. So I know that it's kind of obvious the Chiefs are a really good team, and if they are able to get back to where they were last year, that would actually be quite a feat, because generally if you win the Super Bowl, you're probably not coming back unless you're you're a Tom Brady led team, obviously. So we'll see.
Go again.
I know. So yeah, I'm taking a safe bet, folks. I'm picking the Chiefs. So I'd love to hear what you got to say, B, and chat. Go ahead and chime in on any of this. We appreciate it.
You're coming in with the best defense in the league. You're coming in with one of the top offenses in the league. You have to be the best team, and that is going to be the San Francisco 49ers, to be the best team overall here. Now, what does that mean? They're going to win the Super Bowl? I'm not saying they are, but as far as best team in the NFL, they will be, I think, at season end, the best team out there. You look at it on paper. We talked about it already. There's just so many weapons up and down the roster here offensively. Defensive, they're bringing the best defense in the league. So you got to just look at it and go, it's a no-brainer here. I would be stupid not to pick the Niners as the best team in the NFL here. Now, will they win the Super Bowl? No, they're not. But they will be one of the best teams in the NFL there.
You just call me stupid?
No, I didn't call you stupid. I said the Niners were stupid.
I'm just messing with you. So moving on to the worst team. Worst team. So worst team. They come on television. I'm not watching them. I don't care who they're playing, unless I guess it's my team. Maybe it's the Raiders, and I'm like, yay, a free win for the Raiders. It's the Indianapolis Colts. They're starting Anthony Richardson, who has a long ways to go before he's comfortable being an NFL quarterback. I watched the preseason game, and the only thing more startling than the quarterback, well, I guess it's kind of expected, him being a little unsure in the pocket, was all the drop passes. Oh my God, the guy actually got off a few good passes, and those wide receivers were rocking the cradle right out of bounds. It was ridiculous. So if the season's going to be anything like that, man, they might as well go ahead and start chucking the ball to the other team, because it's going to be a long season. I suspect they're going to win maybe 3 to 4 games at best, man. And they'll be at the top of the draft board again next year, hopefully finding a wide receiver, because, like I said, those guys are dropping balls all over the place.
And dude, there is a wide receiver coming out of college from Ohio State University. If you guys don't watch college football, if there's a guy I can say watch, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State. Okay. He is lighting it up. He should have been in the NFL already, but it's only his second year. Watch what he does this third year, dude. Probably the best player in college football, next to Caleb Williams, and I hate even saying that. But not to get sidetracked, the worst team in the NFL will go to the Carolina Panthers, who last year decided to absolutely abandon ship on that entire roster and only fulfill it with Miles Sanders and Bryce Young, the young quarterback from Alabama here. Yeah, you're not getting anywhere. That defense is trash. That field hurts players consistently. We've seen season-ending careers happen on the field of the Carolina Panthers, so they might as well just end their season early and just be the number one pick for Marvin Harrison Jr. here. So I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers to be the team in the NFL this year.
Well, it's a toss-up, and either one of those teams could be the worst, quite honestly. But we're definitely in the right place. I will say that. Let's move over to Super Bowl winner, and this one's a struggle for me. I'll let you go first, B. I've been waffling with this darn thing all day since we were talking before the show.
Too. But I'm going to sit here and go that the Buffalo Bills finally break that curse and end up winning the Super Bowl here. Wow. I think there's just something about this team that we both have touched base on that's going to be really, really good. I'm going to go with the Bills to win it just because I think they finally get by the Chiefs in the playoffs here, and they punch their ticket to their first Super Bowl victory here. So I'm going to go with the Bills to win this Super Bowl here.
Wow, there you have it, folks, the Buffalo Bills. So I'm gonna stay away from the safe bet, and I'm gonna go completely outside the box with this one. I'm gonna pick the Minnesota Vikings to win the Super Bowl.
Whoa!
The Minnesota Vikings.
Dude, we haven't even talked about
Minnesota. Oh, I picked them to win the NFC North. The Minnesota Vikings have been a very good team for the past 2-3 years. They've got weapons on offense. They have great defensive players. I think they've always been on the doorstep, but just haven't been able to get over the hump in the playoffs. I think they have a great opportunity to do that this year. They'll be playing the same usual suspects. It's not like anything changed from last year. They still got Philly to go up against. And they had a very unceremonious, they got kicked out of the playoffs very early last year, which was unsuspected. Against the New York Giants. So I think they're going to come back with a vengeance and find themselves in that the championship game with an opportunity to move forward. So we'll see how it goes. I'm doing what no person will do, which just put their faith in Kirk Cousins. How about that, folks?
Cousins, religious man, if you not watch quarterback.
Yeah, I hope he's watching the show. Do you like that? Do you like that?
Why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell everyone who your previous pick was before
Oh
you
man,
make this switch
I was
over?
being safe. I picked the Chiefs, man. I'm a big Mahomes fan, so I love watching him play. But at the end of the day, winning Super Bowls back to back, it just doesn't happen. It's very difficult to do. So I want to spice it up a bit, and try to make sure that I can look really good or really bad. That's what you got to do when you make predictions, right? You gotta take some risks.
Absolutely here. And that's why it's just a prediction show, people. We're not saying that we're accurate, but we're saying that this may come
Yeah,
true.
yeah, we're not scared. We're putting it out there. Well, I'm scared, but I'm still putting it out there.
And now, look, last year we did nothing but post-it notes. We're a little more organized
That's
this
right.
time, people. We got a
Yep,
board.
that is written in Russian. If you were wondering,
Advanced
I'm
English.
just I'm
Look at
just
that. That
joking.
is
I'm
pure
just
English.
joking. Just joking.
But we also have other people's picks in there as well. We got JJ's picks in. We got our wild predictions as well here. So now we just get to wait a full season or a full week before we get some football on our
Oh man,
hands.
it's gonna be wonderful, folks. I'm looking forward to the fall because we're gonna start off the NFL season, and then we're going to get right into the NBA in the probably late, right around Halloween time. So this is a wonderful time for me. Get into the fall, kids go back to school, sports really ramps up, and then we get into the holidays. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, look, we got 8 people watching us right now. So thank you, all 8. If there are any last minute shout outs, you better get them in now. Otherwise, well, actually, we already made the announcement.
JJ has had a shout out, and it looks like he will
Yep.
be the winner. He got a shout out from Different Cow, who called him Zaddy.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I'm not gonna dig into that.
We won't question
And
it.
but he got the shout out, so we're gonna go ahead. He's gonna get the jersey, folks. We're gonna continue to do things like this as we go throughout the remainder of the year. So make sure that you tune in, keep up with us. Make sure you subscribe and reach out to folks to get them to subscribe as well, so they can get in on some of the action. So just so you know, we want to make sure we stay interactive with everybody. Obviously, we're all in on the chat, but we also want to give back just a little bit. And so we were happy to be able to do that today. But it's the first of many, many giveaways to come.
Yep. And sorry, Victoria, Mama Birdie cheated. She's got a new subscriber. She's an original subscriber. So this one, that vote don't count, unfortunately. Sorry.
Oh man.
All right. You got anything off topic, do you?
No, not really,
much.
man. I think Bronny James, the whole thing with it looks like he may make a full recovery after being diagnosed with a heart defect. So it looks like he may end up playing or getting back to playing basketball again, which I think is good news.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else came on the up on the wire, but I think that's all. That's about it, man.
Hey, man, don't forget we got our fantasy football draft determination tomorrow, my man. 8 p.m. Be ready.
8 p.m. Okay. Okay. We'll talk after, so you can tell me exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Apparently,
so for folks who don't know, this is my first time doing this draft, this thing, whatever this is, and so wish me luck. Hopefully, I have some beginner's luck. And I'll be drafting some of my favorite NFL players, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it.
This is going to be wild. I cannot wait. But everyone, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you are a brand new viewer, hit the bell for notifications and get notified every time we go live, which is every Sunday night at 6:30 p.m.
That's right. All right, folks. I gotta run. I gotta go catch a Ninja Turtles movie. So I gotta get out of here. But you guys have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one, y'all.
I can't wait to start the NFL season. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.